Devin, thanks for being the first guest on the show. We're super stoked to have you here. Obviously, you got your fight coming up at Rising Stars Muay Thai 9, and we just hop right into the interview, bro. So I wanted to start for you to like kind of tell your story and just like tell the people what got you into Muay Thai and what made you want to like start competing.
Yeah, what got me into competing was, freshman, sophomore year of high school, fell in love with MMA, started watching guys like John Jones, Anderson Silva, obviously Connor a few years later. And, when you're sitting around watching UFC with the boys, especially as a younger teenager, you're like, I want to do an amateur fight one day. I want to do an amateur fight one day. You hear people throw that around all the time. And Archie, obviously our friend, he brought me into American Top Team. I started training there a bit, fell in love with it immediately. Then one day my coach was like, "Hey, Devin, like, do you have any like aspirations to compete at all?" And I was like, "You know what? I do." And it just from there, it kind of took off. I played college baseball, and this kind of filled that void that I was missing of that competitive juices I was needing. And it's just something that I've fallen in love with, and I love it.
Nice, dude. Nice. I know also you've been, working hard in training camp. You're in, fight camp right now. Just tell us a little bit about how your camps are going so far and about how you're feeling going into your week out.
I feel fucking amazing. I feel great. My cardio's on point. I'm I'm locked in for 6 minutes of relentless pace. I know one shot could end the fight at any moment, but I'm ready to go 6 hard minutes. The camp, shouts out to American Top Team, my coaches Shannon and Josh. It's going great. We're working on some things that need to be worked on. More than anything, though, it's just at this point, it's just fine-tuning little things and being ready to go hard 6 minutes. I'm avoiding any injuries. I feel fresh. I'm ready to go out there and put on a show.
Nice, nice.
And you're fighting at 200 pounds, right?
200 pounds. The weight is on point. Shouts out to at Fit Life Archie for nutrition advice. Diet Cokes, baby. I'm fueled by
CZ,
Diet Cokes.
you see
Oh, the
it?
CZ.
Is 200 pounds the lightest you've ever fought at?
Yes, and to be honest, I have not been 200 pounds since I was like 19 years old. And so I'm 28 years old. I feel great right now. Woke up 209 this morning, and I really feel that 200 pounds is a really great weight class for me. I feel like I'll have the strength advantage at that weight. I feel like I'll have the height over most people, and I feel fresh. I feel great at this weight. Um, Diet's been everything to get me down to this weight. Been eating nothing but clean stuff, staying away from alcohol. I'm dialed in. I'm locked in. As
Dialed in.
old Conor McGregor would say, partying is bad for the soul.
Yeah,
Sound
for
like a
real.
weight bully.
Wait,
I'm,
boy.
I'm, I'm playing. I'm playing.
So are you going into fight week, are you expecting to do like a water cut at all, or are you expecting to come in to like diet another week and get down to 200?
I'll water cut. So I'll probably get down to like 206, 207, and then I'll rest water. So I look to wake up Friday morning. We'll be weighing in around 5:30 the day before the fights. So I look to wake up around 206, 207 that morning, and I'll just shed the rest off, just water weight. And I don't see that being a problem. I haven't done it before, but I don't see it being a problem. I sweat a lot. There's just gonna be some hard work, but no matter what, I'll hit the scale 200 pounds and I'll be ready to go Saturday night.
Nice, dude. And for anyone watching that might not know, obviously we know each other. We've known each other for a long time. Um, and I've kind of seen you like when we used to just like mess around and spar here and there. To now you're like a full blown fighter, and like I've seen the improvements, especially with things like your kicks and stuff. I remember when you first started learning kicks, it was like you were gonna freaking break your hip or something. But from when you started, how where do you feel like you've improved the most from your beginning of your journey to right now?
Yeah, man. I actually have some clips from when I first started throwing kicks, and it's hilarious. And when I see new people come into the gym and they're all kind of shy about where they're at, it wasn't too long ago that I first started training. And it wasn't too long ago when those kicks that you're talking about were as bad as you were. referring to. And I started training very beginning of 2021, so 4 years now training. Um, what I would say I've improved the most would be the I'd say balance. I was gonna say kicks, but I'd say balance. Because it didn't take too long to be able to throw those kicks, but now I'm able to throw them and I'm able to recover from them. Like say hypothetically, they get blocked or I miss the kick or something like that. I'm able to just keep my balance and recover from them. But this past, it's been so next Saturday it'll be 14 months to the day since my last fight. This past 14 months, whatever, the big thing that we've been working on is just my speed. And I think there's going to be a big improvement in my explosiveness, my agility, my speed from my last bout to this bout. And I think just because the power's there, no problem. But I think adding the speed to it, that's gonna cause my opponents a huge problem because they're used to that slower 230 pound, 215-pound Devin. Now I'm the fast, explosive 200-pound Devin. And so I would say the balance has just been the biggest thing that I've improved on. And yeah, I'm still improving every single day in training. I'm improving, and that's where I'm at now. It's been good. It's been a good camp, and I'm very happy to showcase what I'm going to do next Saturday night. What I've been saying repeatedly on Instagram, on social media is I'm going to put on a show, and that's what I'm looking on doing is putting on a show. I'm not saying exactly how the fight's going to turn out. I have an idea of how it's going to turn out, but more than anything, I want to go out there and just put on a hard fight. And I know if I can do what I know I'm capable of, I'll get my arm raised.
Nice, nice. Well, I know I'm excited, and I know we've been talking about, the areas you've improved on, talking about balance, kicks. You're talking to us about your power. For the fighters that don't know much about you and haven't seen any of your fights, what would you compare your fighting style to?
Who would I compare my fighting style to? Oh, goodness. All right. So obviously, we're all huge Conor McGregor fans. And I definitely go into the ring with that Conor McGregor mentality where as soon as you hear that bell, we're pressing forward and we're trying to hit him with shots, trying to hit with the knuckle, trying to hit with the elbow, trying to hit with the shin bone. So I definitely got that Conor McGregor in me, but as well, so someone that I also love and watch his fights a whole lot is Alistair Overeem. I think I love throwing knees. And Reem, he had those amazing
Reem.
knees. Yeah, the Reem knees are unstoppable. So that's definitely that's someone I try to watch and try to, kind of mimic how he throws his knees and gets in there. And then also since I'm usually taller and lengthier than opponents, I watch like John Jones, for example. Like he's the best when it comes to using his length and just keeping opponents at bay. And so I'd say those three. I know it's kind of crazy. I'm comparing myself to three freaking legends like that, but that's who I try to be like. But more than anything, I like to go out there with like that just McGregor mentality, just freaking explosive from the bell. And just like Connor, we like to gas out a little bit because we're throwing blows from as soon as the bell rings. And so that's why we got to get that cardio locked in, and that's why I'm looking forward to being able to showcase that I can go three hard rounds.
Nice, for sure. That's awesome. And talking about cardio, actually, you know, for all those that know, fight camp and training for combat sports is some of the hardest things to do, and training camp in general is just hard. Lift weights, but I know it's nothing compared to a fight camp. What motivates you during those hard times, during your training? Like what gets you going? What keeps you going?
Oh man, honestly, there is days where I'm fucking exhausted. I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, why the hell do I do this? Because like we've been talking, like this is amateur fighting, so it's not like we're getting paid. We're not getting paid at all. Like I'm getting paid a little bit from sponsors and all that, but it's nothing big. And especially with how much time goes into this just to be out there for 6 minutes. And I have a full-on job outside of this. And there's like these past like 7, 8 weeks, whatever it's been, like there like every single day I am really exhausted. And there is times, just to be honest, where I'm like, why the hell am I doing this? But what keeps me motivated more than anything is that feeling of when your arm is raised after the fight. It's just there's nothing that compares to that winning feeling. It is like they say, the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. The highest of the highs is when you get that victory, there's nothing else that compares. And also, when you're out there and fighting another a man, it's it truly tests yourself, and there's nothing more primal than that. And so it's just the whole experience is just something that's truly is addicting. And I understand why like these fighters they fight in their 40s and 50s, way past what they should be fighting, because it is an addicting feeling. There really is nothing that compares to going out there and competing and getting that victory feeling.
Awesome.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. One thing I wanted to kind of touch on and something that pretty well is that, we used to host when we were in high school, host these, kind of backyard type fights that we used to have. I just want to say, like, see if you had any like things you wanted to share, and like maybe even something from all the way back then that you kind of still take with you, like in your training and in your style. Because those some of those fights were crazy, and some of them are online and you can watch them. And I know we love showing people, so just kind of like tell us about some of those fights and how that kind of like shaped, where you are right now.
Yeah, looking back on those, more than anything, it's you enjoy it. Like fighting is just something that you enjoy. I know Dana White has that quote where he talks about like, oh, there's a basketball game going on in the court, then there's a baseball game going on in the field, then the block over, there's a fight. Everybody's leaving those sporting events to go watch the fight. Fighting is just there's nothing better. Like it's just something that even back then when we're fighting in grass and I remember we had like going up against when we had those upcoming fights, we had like our little training camps back then when there was literally no like uh there was no like there's not like we are winning. I guess we did have our unofficial belts. We were winning little shitty WWE belts or something like that. So we did have a belt. So I guess there was a belt at stake. But in all reality, it wasn't like you were going to be embarrassed if you lost. Or it wasn't like high stakes by any means. But we took it very seriously and we wanted to win more than anything.
We really did take it hella seriously.
We did. We we were out there with no pads or anything, just freaking clobbering people. And Alex, and something I think about is when Alex said, even back then, he's like, "Gosh, Devin, like you hit harder than anybody ever felt." And I see it now is when I land a clean shot, it hurts people, and that's like I said, one shot from me can change the fight. And I can't rely on that, but I just know that it only takes one to really put a hurting on somebody.
Yeah, man, it only takes one. And one thing I wanted to touch on too is, the other day you mentioned to me and all the other guys how many like tickets you've sold locally. And so obviously you have a ton of support back home. People coming up to Sacramento for the fight. Obviously me and Keon are going to be there as well. How does it feel to have so much support from like your friends and family? And do you feel like having, all these people coming there to watch you, do you feel like that's something you thrive off of?
100%. Thank you, boys, and thank you to everyone for all the support. It really means a lot. Like, that's another thing that motivates me on those days we were talking about earlier when I'm sitting there tired, not wanting to work out, not wanting to go hit the gym, not wanting to run, not wanting to go do sprints. Like, it's a lot. It's tiring. But when I think about all those people that are going to come out and watch me perform, it definitely motivates me to want to go out there and do better. And it's something I could definitely, you know, pick up some energy off of and go out there and do my thing. Like I said, I'm looking to go and put on a show, and I am going to go put on a show. 6 hard minutes is what I'm aiming for, and I know if I go out there and do my thing for 6 minutes, 100% I'm going to get my arm raised, and it's going to be great. After I get my arm raised, be looking around out there and see all the support, see my friends, family, teammates, everyone out there. It's going to be a great time.
Nice, nice. We're talking about getting your arm raised and talking about, you land a clean shot, you're gonna, end the fight. So what is your official prediction for your fight on Saturday night?
All right. Ooh. Okay. So, first off, before I say anything, I just want to thank my opponent. Like I said, we're not getting paid to do this, and without him, I'm not able to even do this. And that's why I had such a big gap the 14-month layoff is because it was hard to find opponents. So I have nothing but respect for my opponent. After the fight, we could be friends, you could grab drinks, whatever. My official prediction, not going to put a round on it, but I do think I get the finish.
All right, you
I
heard it
love
here
it.
from
I
Devin.
love it.
Sick, bro. And then sort of to kind of wrap it up, you kind of mentioned you had some sponsors. What were your sponsors if you wanted to give them a quick shout out before the fight?
Yes, thank you to all of my sponsors for February 8th out in Sacramento, California. Rising Stars Muay Thai 9. I got Innovative Tech Runners, Stockton's first owned cybersecurity, family-owned cybersecurity business. Then we got Mariachi de Romos. Then we got Royal Gymnastics out in Tracy, California. Then we got Fit Life Archie. Go follow him for great nutritional advice and great content. Then we got Jorge with an X, one of the most famous people from Tracy right now. He's got those videos going around like, oh, we live in Tracy. He's great, hilarious content. And as well, my another sponsor of mine, my mom.
Yeah,
Oh.
shout out to mom.
Shout out,
All
mom.
right. Well, that is pretty much going to wrap up our interview. Like Devin said, Rising Stars Muay Thai 9 here in Sacramento at Track 7 Brewing. If you're in the area, make sure you guys pull up and watch the fights. Tons of good fights. You get to watch your boy Devin put on a show. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, K2 Combat Global. Follow us on all social media. And follow us for more interviews with local fighters. And yeah, bro, we'll be in touch soon.
It was an honor to be the first guest on K2 Combat Global.